Welcome to the Capital Current. Today, we break down a big question in global trade. Why does India not import corn from the United States? Context. Recently, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick lashed out at India, asking, India brags that it has 1.4 billion people. Why don't 1.4 billion people buy 1 bushel of U.S. corn? But the reality is more complicated than it sounds. India's import reality. In 2024-25, India imported about 0.97 million tons of corn. The bulk came from Myanmar and Ukraine. Imports from the U.S., just 1,100 tons, a drop in the ocean. Why India avoids U.S. corn? Reason 1. Tariffs. First, import tariffs. India allows just 0.5 million tons of corn at a concessional 15% duty. Beyond that, tariffs shoot up to 50%, making U.S. corn uncompetitive. Reason 2. GM ban. Second, India has a strict ban on genetically modified crops. And here lies the real problem. 94% of U.S. corn is genetically modified. This is a huge roadblock because India neither allows planting GM corn nor importing it for food or feed. U.S. desperation. The U.S. is desperate for new buyers. China, once its biggest market, has slashed purchases drastically amid the ongoing trade war, with record U.S. production and weak demand from China. Washington is eyeing India as the next big destination, India's rising demand. And to be fair, India is a tempting market. With growing consumption of milk, eggs, fish, and meat, demand for maize is set to skyrocket. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, India's corn consumption could rise from 35 million tons today to nearly 200 million tons by 2050. That means imports will eventually become unavoidable. Politics. But for now, with Bihar elections around the corner, a state that's India's third largest maize producer, New Delhi is unlikely to cut tariffs or allow GM imports. Farmers' votes matter more than U.S. pressure. Price factor. Interestingly, U.S. corn is the cheapest in the world, less than 15 rupees per kilo, compared to India's market price of 22 to 23, and even below the government's MSP of 24 rupees. Opening up imports could devastate local farmers. So the standoff continues. India protects its farmers and food chain. The U.S. pushes to sell its surplus. The future? That depends on how fast India's demand rises, and whether politics will bend to economics. Outro engaging. What do you think? Should India allow U.S. corn imports or protect local farmers at all costs? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Capital Current for more sharp insights into global trade and politics.